Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lilah experience. Today's episode is such a treat. I'm sitting down with Olga Evenyshyn, the CEO of Next Day's Executive, a systems strategist, operational genius, and the woman who has built a fully remote, high-performing business while traveling the world full-time with her husband for the past 2 years. Olga is not just working from Bali, she is running a real company across time zones, managing a team, onboarding clients, and scaling operations, all while living out of a suitcase, exploring new cities and designing a lifestyle that most people would only dream about. In this conversation, we go deeper than her highlight reel. We talk about the logistics behind the lifestyle, how she actually runs her business while traveling nonstop, how she balances adventure with deep focus CEO time, what she considers before choosing a new country, how long she stays and why, the routines that keep her grounded, and the systems that keep her business stable. We also explore the inner world behind it all, the mindset, the identity shift, the emotional stigma, and the quiet, sacred structure required to hold such a big life. If you crave freedom, structure, and a life that matches the size of your dream, this episode is for you. Hello and welcome, Olga. How are you?
Thank you so much. That was such a lovely intro. I was actually getting a bit emotional. I'm like, oh my God, that's true, what I've created.
Yeah, when you hear it from an outside perspective, especially you or me, when we're in it, you forget what you're doing, and then someone else tells you, you're like, oh yeah, I have been doing something. I've been working really hard.
Like, for real, I think when we dream of something for so long, it's in the future, and then you're suddenly in it and you forget that that was a huge dream that once was not existent, but now it's just normal life. So I think sometimes we just need to remind ourselves that, oh yeah, 2 years ago I would have only died for this.
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier today too, the effort and just consistency that you put in since I've known you, and working at a restaurant, acting, doing all of these side hustles only to create your own business that gives you so much freedom, where if you went down a different path 9 to 5, you'd probably still be in that.
Big time. No, and myself and my husband, we were just talking this morning on our coffee, like how happy we were that we actually left the acting industry, because like we loved it in the time, but we didn't have that freedom. And I remember making that decision, being like, but we've worked so hard to get here, and now it's finally paying off, and we're just going to leave it. And this is the best thing we did. Like, genuinely looking back, it's the best, because we wouldn't have been able to travel to almost 19 countries now in the last 2 years.
Absolute insanity. Also, how it's a question later is the sustainability around it, which I think you've gotten down pat, which is what I wanted to share with the world, because it's like, okay, everyone dreams about this, but how do you actually do it? Well, let's ask you, because you are doing it. I wanted to start off with, so if somebody watched your Instagram stories, they might think your lifestyle is effortless, but what is the part that no one sees, and what are the invisible backbone that makes full-time travel possible for you?
Good question. And effortless, when something looks effortless, it's because there was a lot of work done to make it effortless. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and I'm like, yeah, I'm traveling, I have a successful business, I have a good relationship. It's been work. It's been a lot of late nights, a lot of working till 3 a.m. and then getting up 5 hours later because I have a client meeting, and then weekends trying to explore a new place. Like, there's been a lot of sacrifices, but I think I've gotten to the stage where it looks effortless now because I put in the work to make it that. I did the hard parts. I stayed up, I sacrificed. When my friends were going out drinking and having fun, I was at home grinding, crying. I'm like, this will pay off one day.
Yeah, totally.
And it did. I sacrificed a little bit of that life, or I guess early years of partying, and to build my future, which is like, I'm almost 30, and I am genuinely, I'm not just saying this, I am genuinely living my dream life. For real.
I'm so happy. It's very inspiring. It's just, you're really doing it. Yeah. What's the biggest misconception about running a real business while traveling full time?
That you have 24/7 to just go and explore new countries.
True.
That is not true at all. Like, Monday to Friday, work is work. It's just, I'm just not working for someone else. I'm still working for myself. I think a lot of people are like, oh, you were in Paraguay or you're in Vietnam, you probably saw every part of it. I'm like, no, I still have only weekends.
Yeah, yeah, you're just living abroad for a month at a time.
Exactly, yeah. There's definitely, I think a lot of people when they go traveling, they put that pressure on themselves that they have to see everything and they have to be a full-time traveler and be able to run. But we're only human. Like we actually physically can't do that without burning out huge time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I experienced that too a couple years ago when I first went solo traveling. It was only 6 weeks and I only stayed in each place for 3 or 4 days, and I realized this is not enough time if I'm also working, because then that's only a couple hours that you can go out and then you're tired. It's like, okay, longer periods, if you can swing it, just makes more sense if you want to explore as well.
100%. And that's one of the hard lessons we learned at the beginning. We were like, okay, let's do 7 countries. And I remember at this last October, we did 7 countries in 7 weeks, and we were like, never again.
I remember that too. I was looking on the other side of things going, oh my God, how is this woman doing that? Good for her, but holy, that
I
seems
wasn't
like...
doing it. I wasn't doing it. I was like, I was crying going to the touristy parts because I was so tired.
Yeah, and then you're kind of like, is this worth it?
Yeah.
So what would walk us through a day in your life from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, or maybe Monday to Friday versus a weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So we've gotten in a really good habit, myself and my husband, that we wake up, we go for a coffee. Like we have a coffee date pretty much every morning. Like that's our treat. We go to a coffee shop, we sit, we talk about like the plans for the day. And I think it's just so nice to start that day without it being like, okay, wake up, get dressed, and start work right away. And that really grounds us. Like if that's because we both work for ourselves, so it's like he's working in the apartment and I'm in the co-working space. So during the day we don't see each other. Like it's literally I'm like, okay, bye at 9 a.m. and then I see him at like 6 p.m. So it's nice to have that kind of morning. And then we come back and we either like exercise and then start work, and it's pretty much like I'm the type of person that works 8 hours straight with no break, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
You know.
A lot of people are like, but that's not healthy, and I'm like, honestly, I'd rather just get it out of the way.
If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then we then finish work. I've gotten in a really good routine here in Paraguay to go to kickboxing every day. So it's a good way to like, if it's been a stressful day, which a lot of days can be, especially when you run your own business, there's so many different moving parts at the same time that require your attention. So hitting pads and like boxing is definitely a really good like release.
Yeah. And to be with other people too, it's a very engaging form of exercise. Yeah. I feel the same. My mom would always be like, why do you like punching things? It's like, I don't know, it feels good.
It feels good. More people should punch things, just not other people. Just
yeah, exactly.
Or something.
I was like, I never would want to fight, but I do enjoy the movement, kind of the rhythm that you can get in with yourself, the whole body experience, the expression. I find too, I had this conversation with a friend, it's like when you can channel your emotions, or you could just take on the day a bit better if you've been like, all right, I already got everything out.
Yes. 100%.
Now I'm more prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. Best part, systems queen. Somebody called you that once, or something along, queen of something, and I was like, that is so accurate. What are the systems or automations that keep your business running, even when you're hopping between time zones?
My biggest thing, and that's helped me the most, is automating my client journey. So like, for example, if this is crazy, it's happened to me like probably 3 times at this stage, that someone will inquire and want to book me in about 3 hours before I fly on like an 8-hour journey, and I'm like, okay, all right, great timing. But you know what? It actually is fine, because all I have to do, like I have set up a really good onboarding system that I just send them the link to the proposal. They click their option and they go through the contract, through the invoice, and then once they pay the invoice, they get all of the next steps automatically. So it's happened to me 3 times that when I boarded the plane, this client was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna look into it, and by the end of it, like 8 hours later, the client's onboarded and they already got their welcome email. And I'm just like, such a release of pressure is taken off my shoulders, because I'm not like, oh my God, I have to get to my laptop quickly to onboard this client. It's just gives you space to breathe. And that's probably one of the biggest things traveling that I love. And also definitely having like a project management system where I know what's happening at all times and I don't have to keep it in my brain.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's hard.
No, you've made me up my system strategy. I'm always like, how would Olga do it? Oh, okay, I gotta be prepared for her. So inspiring the way you do it too. The enthusiasm behind it is not like, oh, I gotta go do all this tech stuff. It's like, ooh, this sounds fun. How can I make it work for me and my business and my people?
I'm like a huge believer that like without systems, like I wouldn't be able to do this life without the automations and the systems I have. I'd be a stress ball. I would not be able to enjoy life jumping on from country to country, and all that it takes, like to find a new gym, to find phone plans, all of that. That mental load is high. But if I didn't have my business systems like as solid, I'd lose my mind. I would lose my mind. So I think it's so, like, that's why I love tech, because it just makes my life easier.
Yeah. I know you've hired a few people. Do you still have them on, and are they on different time zones?
Yes, everyone is on a different time zone. I have a system associate under me, so she is in Philippines, and I have a VA who's also on that side of the world, and then I have my social media manager who's in Ireland, and I'm in South America right now. So it's literally like 3 different time zones.
How incredible. How do you structure that or manage that, or is it just quite the trust environment that everyone's doing what they need to do?
A bit, yeah, of course that comes in, but I have a really good project and teams management system. Like my ClickUp is my lifeline. Like everyone's tasks are in there. I know who's working on what. If they have any questions, they ask me in that specific task. So it's like it's easier managed when things are like organized in the places it's meant to be. So even if like this morning I woke up and my system associate had a plan for me for a new project that we're building a website for, and like she's gone to bed now, but like I can review that plan in the meantime, send her my feedback, and when she wakes up she just gets on with it. It doesn't, we don't have to be on calls. I think like that's the misconception like people have, that if they have a team that they have to be constantly in meetings. But once you have a good project management and communication, like I barely meet with my team, like once a month, which is crazy.
Nice. Yeah. It's sometimes easier that way. I think it was Elon Musk said, if you're not getting value from a meeting or giving value in a meeting, don't come. Like, it's all good.
100%. People waste so much time just like catching up on things that an email could have sent.
Yeah, for the lot.
And like when we think about it, like we have to look at it, like our time is so precious and valuable. And me and you have this conversation constantly. Like every hour of our lives is precious, and we don't need to waste it.
100%, absolutely. What is your travel rhythm? So this is where, from personal interest, how long do you stay in each place before moving on? Why that? How are you choosing places? What's the logistics behind the exploration?
So there's a system behind this. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I figured. That's why I was like, I want to hear it.
So for us, like at the beginning of our travel journey, we started in Dominican Republic because that's where we were getting married, and we actually ended up staying there for 5 months. And then we went on this wild summer adventure where we did like 7 countries in 7 weeks, and that was a lesson learned. But from that lesson learned, we have a rule now that if we're going into a busy business season, which like, in business, sometimes there's months where it's like things are slow, you can kind of have more free time. And then there's some days are like, I know I'm going to be working 12-hour days and I'm okay with that. But when we know that busy kind of, we call it putting our head down to work. And when we know that that's the time that's coming, that's where we pick a place for at least a month to a month and a half.
Right.
So we can have time to like just settle, find a gym, find a good routine. And I know people that are like, oh, a month and a half is not that long. But like when we travel so much. A month and a half is quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's
For
so for us, it's like when we know that work is not going to be crazy, we can do 3 countries in 3 weeks. But when we know work is going to require our attention and our focus, then we choose the longer stays. But like when it comes to like choosing countries, we look at 3 things mainly. Affordability. Are we going to be able to save money by being there, or are we just wasting money? And
Smart.
because right now we're in the moment where like we're building for our future, so the more money we save, the better, so we can buy a house and settle down whenever that is.
Yeah.
But and then the weather for us is huge. Like we're not going to go to a place if it's cold or rain. Like we're
Smart.
just not, because it's our mental health. Like we want to be with the sun, and Wi-Fi. Make sure there's good connection.
Yeah, great. Thank you. You answered my next question. The components that go into each place. Side question while we're here, because you just touched on it. Do you envision this chapter as an adventure chapter, and you'll settle down kind of more somewhere where you're used to, Canada versus Ireland, or have you discovered we need the sun full-time forever?
We need the sun full-time forever.
Okay. It's nice to know.
Yeah, and I know that's going to be like, but your family's not there, and like Jared's family, my husband's family is in Canada, obviously, and my family's in Ireland, and neither of those places have sun 24/7, especially Ireland. So it's like, are we sacrificing being close to family? Yes, but we're going to sacrifice it regardless, even if we choose one
or the other.
place. We're going to sacrifice one of our families and friends. So, and it's not that we're not picking one of those for that reason, but we're and first of all, neither of those countries are cost affordable right now. So it's like for what we can get in Paraguay for like a 4-bedroom mansion, we can't even get a 1-bedroom studio in Canada. Like that's how crazy that like lifestyle, how far your money can go in a place like this.
I've had that conversation a lot recently with my friends, my partner. Exactly that. Family, absolutely love them, want to be near them. The reality, somebody asked me last night, he's like, well, what do you want your lifestyle? And I said, space, like a big house, a big home, land, so that little kids can run around. Like I want them to play outside and feel free and just do whatever they might need to do, and that needs space.
And you can't really do that in Vancouver or London, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like it's hard, because it's like we want to do that. We want to have the best of both worlds, but like if we have to come and choose, like something has to give, and we should be okay with that.
For sure. Yeah, that's kind of the reality of this age, modern living.
Yeah.
One more question for logistics. What tools or platforms are you obsessed with right now that keep everything running smoothly? This is always my question. I'm like, what does Olga use? You know, she's done a lot of research.
Yeah, I have, and I've tried so many systems that have worked, have given me headaches, have like just cost me money. But my 2 that I always come back to is Dubsado is my number 1 for like client management stuff. Like that's how I manage my clients, onboard them, offboard them, all of that. And ClickUp is basically how I run my business. Everything is in ClickUp, from scheduling this podcast in and preparing for this, to my social media, to my team, to my projects. Everything is in ClickUp. And there's obviously alternatives. So like if someone's listening and they're like, oh my God, I have to get ClickUp. You don't have to, but it is a really good system. And you can have something like Notion or Asana that is similar, but I just prefer ClickUp because of how many like things you can do in one platform, instead of doing team here, projects here, social media here.
Way easier if everything's in one.
Do you use ClickUp? I can't remember if...
but now I'm kind of like, I use Mastermind Hub from... Yeah, because it has an education system. I got at a point when I was like, I need help, and I kind of know what to do. I need it all in one place, but I also want to keep learning as opposed to buying different programs and learning. And this is nice because it educates you about the platform, and then there's also so many courses to teach you. Like I just had even automation question logistically, and it's like, okay, I put it in and it showed me I know lots of platforms do things like that, but
Yeah,
That's what
no,
you're asking.
you gotta do what works for you. But it's definitely if you're at a stage where you're using too many, it might be time to look at an alternative that can like one place can do multiple things from
Yeah.
a cost perspective too. So you're not paying for like multiple tools that you only use bits from each.
Yeah, not worth it. So much
Yeah,
learning too. How has your
yeah.
nervous system adapted to constantly being in new environments?
Honestly, it doesn't affect me anymore.
Really?
I can show up like now. It's honestly, I'll show up in a different country I've never been, like, and I'll be like, okay, nice. Oh, this place is nice. Like the food, like it doesn't affect us
Yeah, yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I know what you
The
mean. You
first
get
few
used to it.
countries, yeah, the first few countries were tougher because you're getting used to the food, you're getting used to the climate, the people. But now because we've seen so many different, like we've literally gone from Canada to Malta to Vietnam to Thailand, now to South America. Like we've seen so many different cultures and foods that our bodies is like it's just another country.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I noticed that too. You do get used to it. When I first moved in here to my place, one of my best friends was like, "Don't you want to decorate it to be yours, or maybe because all of the homeowner stuff is here?" And I'm like, honestly, it's great. I feel right at home. I think I've traveled so often from a young age that I
Yeah.
don't need things to make me feel at home. I just tell myself this is home and this is home, and it feels great.
Yeah.
If anything, it's less work to buy something, sell it, move it around. It's just like you get used to it. It's comfortable.
100%, absolutely. Once we have a bed and a roof over our head, and we feel safe coming home, that's all that matters. I'm the same as you. I don't need to make it home because this is home. Like I just made
Exactly.
it home without things.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's I think easier for us because you're used to it. But I'm curious, and this isn't a question, but I'm just fascinated in how that works, like on a neuroscience perspective of how we could just do that. Because I think other people look at it and go, they just don't get it, and it's like I'm not sure. That's something I'll figure out. Just I think it's a skill maybe over time of moving around and having your routines to ground you. So I know you
Yeah.
mentioned coffee in the morning, a workout. Are there any other specific, maybe even odd routines that just help you get straight in, feeling right at home in a new environment or day to day to help you switch into it?
Oh, like honestly, because we've traveled so much, and we've been to 19 different countries, and even when I say 19 different countries, in that country itself, like in Vietnam, we moved to 3 different cities. We were in
Right.
Da Nang for 2 months, and we were in Hoi An for a month, and then we were in Nha Trang for 2 months. So we in Vietnam we had 3 different homes. So I think it's at this stage we've just gotten so like we just don't get affected by new places, so we don't need a lot to feel at home. Like I have my book by the bedside, like that's a staple. Like I have a
Right.
book. Do I read it every night? No, but like at least like when I
Fair.
come to a new place, my book goes on my bedside.
Oh, nice. That's a nice little routine to do.
Yeah.
Subconscious even too, to just be like, all right, we're home now.
Yeah, because it's like like if that's such a me, like that book wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for me putting it there.
Right,
So
right.
when I wake up in the morning and I see it, I'm like, okay, that's my place. I know it's something so small, but I don't think honestly there is a lot more. Like we just once our biggest thing when we get to a new place, it's like, okay, let's make sure the Wi-Fi works. If not, let's find a solution very quickly.
Yeah, smart.
Like within 12 hours, otherwise we're screwed for work and we can't afford to do that. We find a phone plan and we find a gym. That's our
Yeah.
3 things that we need to tick off. Once they're ticked off, we're happy.
I love the science behind this. It's just like boom, 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 done.
Yeah.
So you've minimized it quite a bit, which is really nice and probably helps with decision fatigue. So my question around, say, finding a new country, we know the components that go into that, but at what point have you mapped out the next place? Is it like right now you know the next 4 places, you know the next 6 months, or how do you kind of batch the year?
Like at the beginning, we were pre-planning quite far in advance, and then we realized that we would get to the time and be like, I thought I wanted to do this, but now I don't. No, not to say that we still don't go and have a great time, But like if I found that if we plan too far in advance, maybe something comes up that has to change our plans, and then we're stressing about it. Where now it's very much like we get to a place, and for the most part we don't really know what the next country is. Like when we got to Paraguay in mid-September, we were supposed to be here for 10 days, but we didn't have our next flight. Like we knew we were going to be here for 10 days, but we didn't know, are we going to Argentina, are we going to Peru, are we going to Bolivia? We didn't know. And that was like, we got here and that was like 10 days, we still didn't know where we were going, which is scary. When like some people would be like, that would stress me out. I think it's because we've put ourselves in such a new environment so many times that our bodies have just gotten used to, like, we'll figure it out. Like once you have money, once you have our health, once we have each other, we'll figure it out. It's not, worst comes to worst, we just extend our stay. And that's what we ended up doing. Like it was coming up to the 10 days where our Airbnb was coming to an end. And we sat down and we were like, do we want to leave? And both of us were like, not really. Like, we've found a really good community. Let's just stay. And we've been here for 2.5 months now.
So that 10 days is 2.5 months?
Yeah.
Wow. So inspiring. It's such a skill to be able to, because I do think it's not innate. It's you build the skill of getting comfortable with the unknown.
That was a skill I had to learn because before I met Jared, I was very much like, I need to know what I'm doing at 10 a.m. on this day, and then 3 months in advance I need to know what I'm doing. And he was the one that is like, it's okay, let's go with the flow a bit. And I think you told me that, is like, it's okay, go with the flow a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And until you actually let go of that need of control and needing to know everything, life just becomes so much easier because you just trust the process. You're like, you know what, whatever's meant to happen in 10 days, we'll figure it out. If we want to stay here or not, we'll figure it out. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. So even last night, my friend was in town, so we were out, and with another friend, I was just saying how for so long I faked it till I made it, trusting the universe. It was like I started trusting, but there's not absolute faith where it's like you're training that, and now I have that absolute faith where there's really, it's like, oh, it's just a different level of like, I trust. It's all good.
It's like how things are meant to play out, it's going to play out. But it's true. It's not as easy as just saying it to ourselves and be like, okay, it's going to happen. You have to almost convince your brain to think that it's okay. It's not it's not a complete switch that you say 3 times in the mirror and it happens. That's a practice that you need to internally just let go of, like, okay, it's all good. It's all good.
Let go of the fear.
Yeah.
What anchors you when you're feeling overstimulated or untethered? Do you have a practice?
I like to shut out the world, even if it's for like 12 hours. I just like to disconnect, turn off my phone, not talk to anyone, and really just shut out the noise. And even honestly just going for a walk in the middle of nowhere, like even in the quiet neighborhoods, just going for a walk and not having the distractions. Because I think when we get stressed, it's because we have too many moving plates in our brain, and we don't know which ones we need to which one we need to give attention to, when it feels like 10 need our attention at the same time. And we get so stressed. So if we don't give attention to any of them and just anchor back to yourself, that's what helps me. I don't have any huge rituals, but I think disconnecting is a huge one for me. I just turn off my phone and just ignore it. And it could be even for 12 hours, but it's like, it just gives me that time to just breathe and not have messages, phone calls, Yeah,
100%. Basically, silence is always kind of the answer, and just quieting your mind,
What about yourself? Like, I'd actually interested, like, for you, because I know you've done a lot of mindset. Like, what works for you when you get to that stage?
It's such a great question, and I've been wondering why I've been called to London so many times. There's so many different areas, but this past really year has shown me how I've grown in that sense, where I have really healthy tools, where I would go for a cold plunge, I would go for a trail run, I would do these activities that helped me just relax my nervous system. Yeah. Here, because I don't have those outlets, modalities of a way to instantly just calm myself, I've been had the beautiful challenge and privilege of learning to do it entirely on my own, and just absolute regulation with my own body and mind. So a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have said all those healthy routines. Yeah. And now I feel like the universe has leveled me up to be like, no matter what environment, no matter what's going on, you have what you need within you.
Yeah.
But it definitely was a challenge at the beginning, because I would feel like I need to go to the ocean to just take a deep breath, where now it's like, okay, you can switch into that with just kind of focus. And same thing for what you're saying of quieting the outside world and going inside.
Yeah, so, which is nice because it's in our control then. We don't have to rely on external factors like a cold bath. We can do it wherever we are, because it's up in our brains, really, the methods.
Exactly, yeah. But same thing, just that awareness of, we're going to put my phone away, or painting too is quite helpful, but I don't use that as like a escape by any means, because it's also what brings me joy. It's a lot of things, but at least for painting, I don't need my phone. I don't need any technology to help me be productive. So that's something where I can leave it all in another room and then just be with myself. And I used to listen to music or watch movies, but lately I literally just be. Yeah.
I love that. I love that, to just be and do one thing instead of like busying our mind with multiple things.
Yeah, I've been training my mind to find more value in less is more, simplicity of everything. I know I said it all before, and I believed it, but I didn't truly, like, ultimately, it was, still a practice, where now it's more of a way of life in a way.
Yeah.
Curious to how full-time travel has impacted your relationship, positive or challenge-wise. How has it changed you guys in any way?
I think it's an easy question. Like, I think for us, it's just made us stronger and stronger. Because when we're traveling and we're in the middle of Vietnam and like things are not going our way and all we want to do is just cry, like, at least we have each other to be like, it's okay, we have each other, like we're experiencing this together. And I think that's just such that's in general, when you have like that partner, it's like you're doing life together, you have that second half, and it's just that comfort that it brings. So if anything, I think it's when we go through harder times, we rely on each other so much. We don't put pressure on each other to fix in any means. Like, I think that our relationship is so strong because we're so individually fulfilled.
Yeah.
That when we come together, it's like it's like whole. We don't have to pull each other for happiness. We're happy by ourselves. But when we're together, it's like it's complete. I don't know. I sound probably so like soppy right now.
No, not at all. If anything, it's so admirable because you're not living an easy life by any means, but it's incredibly rewarding and challenging. And obviously, I don't know Jared super well, but from the few times I've met him, it's like I could see like that your independence and like your strength as individuals. Where when you come together, obviously I don't know behind the scenes, but it's just ultimate support and encouragement. And like, you go. When how is it, do you kind of split up logistics, or I feel like you guys just flow with?
Honestly, I think it depends on who's like less like if I have a really, really stressful week, he'll take care of pretty much everything. He'll be like, don't worry. Like, you go focus. Like this past week, I've had an intense 12-hour days, and it's okay because we're going on our honeymoon cruise soon, and we're switching off for 10 days. But because of that, I really have to make sure we get things done to be able to switch off. So I'm okay with grinding this month. I kind of went in November being like, I'm not gonna see sunlight. It's okay. I'm gonna be a little hermit, and that's fine. So like he really picks up when that's, and then vice versa, when he's like really really busy and I'm kind of not, I'm like, okay, you focus on that, let me take care of the rest, let me find our next flight, so we really do, and like we don't have to ask each other. I think it's very obvious when one of us is like super super stressed. I think the challenge is when we're both super stressed, right, and we don't have that, neither of us has the time to look for our next flight or look for our next Airbnb. But when it comes to that, we just like, okay, we literally open the Airbnb app and like, okay, this one looks good. 2 minutes, we book it. Like we just don't think about it too much, because honestly, we don't have time to think about it. But like in a week, we've nowhere to live, so like we have to get it done.
Yes, yeah. It's very much we're on the same team and just picking up wherever you can.
Exactly. If he has 50% energy and I have 75, I'll do a little bit more because I have more energy. It's a very flowy, it's not like give and take.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know, I admire that so much about you guys. It's really a team effort and so much love. A little more personal, you don't have to answer it, but say when you are both peak stress, are there times when it might come out on the other, and then how would you process that when you know it's not necessarily the other person, but just you only have each other? So everything, all the good and the bad, is all experienced with that individual.
Oh, it happens. It happens naturally because we're in such a out of our comfort zone wherever like we go. Vietnam, I think, was quite challenging because of the time zone too. So we were both working till 3 a.m. and then getting up groggy, and then we had to cook breakfast. And of course, when you're both stressed and there's only one other person in this whole country that you know, you're going to obviously like snap or being like it, and it's not intentional. It's just we're human. But I think for us, we allow our, like we have a lot of respect for each other, so it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And when we do it, we give ourselves the day. It's like, okay, I think you need to be on your own, I need to be on my own. And you know what, at 12 hours apart, we come back and we're like, I'm sorry. Like it's such a quick, like we don't hold grudges because we can't hold grudges. We're the only people we know in this whole country. Like how can we hold grudges for too long? Otherwise you're screwed. Like it really comes back to like, I don't have anyone else. And he doesn't have anyone else. So it's like, we have to make up.
Absolutely. I know, and you only see the glamorized stuff, but obviously everyone in any relationship knows it's not always glamour. And there's this, that I think that the skill, even a boyfriend a long time ago, my first boyfriend, we never fought once. So then when I was in a relationship and we did, I was like, oh, this isn't right. And he had said to be a good, like, we fight well. I was like, what does that mean? We're not supposed to fight. It's like, oh no, actually, when you love somebody so much and you're with them all the time, to be able to just be whatever happens and then to move through that quickly is a skill.
Absolutely, because if you bottle it all in, that's going to come out eventually, and it's going to come out too late, and it's going to be really way more hurtful. So you have to have, like, not that you have to have arguments, but it's normal. We're all human, and we all have a battery, and it's okay that we're not always perfect, and we're not perfect. Now, 95% of times, everything's great. Like, we have a really good relationship, but there's obviously 5% where we do argue, but it's very, as I said, it's like max 12 hours, and then we're like, we have no other choice but to make up, and it's okay. Like, and it's probably because we don't have that friend that I can just go to someone's house and talk to them, or go to my parents. Like, we don't have that option, so we're almost forced to just move on really quickly.
You probably learned to, or better the skill that it's not personal, and it's really the situation. I feel like is probably rarely is it ever personal. It's just that you are living a high stress life if you don't have the tools to support that.
100%. I think if you respect each other, it's never personal, because you never want to hurt the other person. And it's never like, even if something is said to you that it hurts you, like if you look at the deeper, wider angle, it's like that's just coming out on you because there's no other outlet. But it's not. You definitely learn not to take it personal. We're getting better at that as we're kind of going through this travel journey and adventure.
Once you settle down, it'll probably be like, this is a breeze. Every chapter is just exciting. Oh, question on that. Do you ever feel that, or is there any fear around or excitement? What do you feel towards the settling down chapter when you're living such an adventurous chapter right now? Is there a bit of fear around that it might be boring, or is there a bit of excitement for when that comes, that it'll feel whole and good?
You know, it used to feel scary. Like when even like 6 months ago when we had this conversation, I used to be like, there's so much excitement all the time. We're in new places. Like, what happens when we just actually get a house? Are we just gonna is our marriage gonna break down?
Right.
Like we have those because like when you think about it, we got married 2 years ago next week, and then a month later we started traveling. So our whole marriage has been like an adventure.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, when we settle down, will we just get bored of each other? But obviously, I think that's just like thoughts kind of going through our heads. But what we've discussed, him and I, is that when we talk about settling down, we really only have to stay in one place for like 8 months, because of the baby. Because we're thinking of settling down, we're probably only going to settle down when I'm like 4 months pregnant, and I'm like, we probably have to pick a place.
Right.
So it's like, we're not, honestly, for now, we're not planning to settle down like for long, even when we have a baby. Like my image is to have a baby, get through the first few months, and at like 8-9 months old, go again.
Wow, that's just exciting, thrilling. Okay, so you're not even thinking that right now this is a chapter. Right now, this is how you see life.
For the moment, yeah, and that could change. We might have a baby, and we might be in a really good place, and we might be like, you know what, we're happy here. But I think it's also like, even if we do find a settling down, what's not to say we can't travel and go a week away every 3 months?
100%, absolutely.
Like, especially if we work for ourselves, like it really is in our control. No one is like putting handcuffs that we have to stay in that specific place once we buy or like get a 1-year lease, or we still have control over that.
Yeah. You both are balancing the planning for the future and staying in the present so exceptionally well. Like, it's not even like the future is really planned out and you're building this it's like you're just building for that safety and freedom when the future comes.
Yeah, I don't think we think too much. Like, we honestly, if someone's to ask me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, I don't even know where I see myself in 1 year. So it's kind of a silly question.
Oh, me too, 100%. I used to, very aligned with how it used to be, and now I'm like, no idea. Like, genuinely, and my friend and I who's visiting, she's also similar lifestyle, where there's so much freedom that from an outside perspective, it's incredible. You can live wherever, but then there's also challenges that come with that amount of freedom of, where do I actually set myself up in this world?
Yeah.
There's a lot of choices when the whole world is open.
Literally, like, and I keep getting asked this by family members. It's like, so where are you settling down? I'm like, I don't know. If you asked me a year ago, I would have been like Dominican Republic, because we stayed there for 5 months. We loved it. That was our place. Now, or like the last 6 months, we were like, okay, it's Panama. And then now we're in Paraguay, and it's like, maybe it's Paraguay. Like, I don't actually know.
Yeah.
What I said to Jared is like, exactly. All I said to him is like, look, when I get pregnant and we find out that we're pregnant, that's when we have to sit down and be like, okay, we need to like figure out a place where we can just stay for a year. It doesn't have to be long term. Let's just do like just for the time being, because I think it's really scary when people are like, you have to make a decision for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. That's a really big task.
Yeah. I think that what this generation and future generations is that doesn't have to be our reality anymore.
Exactly.
It's
we
so
have the
easy
freedom to do that. And I love, like, you know what? I love how me and you started very similar in terms of like, we were like the planners. We needed to know what was happening. And then we're both like, whatever happens, happens.
I know. Everyone's like, what do you mean you might move back? And what about your boyfriend? I'm like, well, he'll come, he won't, I'll come back. We'll figure it out. I'm not really worried about it. We've got a good good thing going, and whatever's meant to be, it'll all work out, or maybe we'll end up in who knows what country. I don't know. Sort of flying with the wind.
But that's when the most, like, honestly, Sky, that's when the most exciting things happen. When you're just like, let's just see. Like, maybe you guys will end up in Greece or Portugal. Like, who knows? Like, but that's, like, how exciting that you don't know.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's the reminder of when I think about the logistics of my family having kids, me having kids, and then it was like, well, same thing. I could go back to Vancouver for 6, 9 a year, and then we can go again. Because we'll also likely homeschool or something along those lines where it's still...
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I'm like, who knows? Maybe that's a future business idea, because I'm like, there should be kind of a virtual tutoring school for all those international kids where they can still have a community but be homeschooled. I'm like,
There's honestly, I think there's lots of that available nowadays with how many nomad families are. Like we met someone in Vietnam who were traveling with 3 kids. Like all their 3 kids were like, the oldest was 8 and I think the youngest was like still a toddler, so maybe 3. And they were traveling the world, like homeschooling them through internet. And when I saw that, I was like, everything that I thought, like, when you have to have a family, you have to settle down. And then I see them, and I'm like, they're so happy, and I'm like, it's possible. It's just we just need to like ignore everyone that says it's like, oh, you can't travel with kids. Life gets really hard.
Yeah. It's all what you think it is. It's really your belief system. And you learn the most too. I'm blessed that my parents both loved to travel, so we traveled not a ton when we were young, more when we got a little bit older, because they were like, it's a lot of money for things you're not going to remember. But when we'd say go to Egypt or any country, I'm like, I probably never would have looked into ancient Egyptians but going to these museums, I'm so curious, and now I'm educated on this, or I know what this means, or when I go to France, I put on French music, or German music, where at home I'd never be like, maybe I should listen to German music today, you know? It's the best way to educate, because then I came home back to Vancouver and I was really in that German rap, and my mom's like, okay. I thought, well, it makes me feel, even here sometimes I'll go up to London Bridge if I'm going there, I'll put on like London Bridge song or something like that to kind of still keep the spice of reminding me that I'm somewhere different.
I love that.
But there's no way in school and like sitting at my desk would I have thought, oh, I'm going to listen to different languages of music or research this history.
It's such a different, like, even when we look about like us growing up, it's like, I don't know about you, but like I liked school, but it wasn't my favorite. Like, do I remember a lot of it? No, but if I was to learn the exact same things in the actual country, it's probably going to be a memory that I'm going to have forever. So I really, really admire like parents that travel with their kids, and it doesn't even have to be full time, but like travel and show them the world. I think it's just those kids grow up so educated in real life, not just textbook.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's a totally different life skill. A few more questions I want to ask. What identity shift was required for you to become someone who could handle this level of fluidity and responsibility at the same time? Yeah, I'm like, I know, it's a good one.
Oh God.
I know a lot. I know you've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of work.
Yes. Well, first of all, hands down, the person I was this time 2 years ago would have looked at my life and right now and be like, holy shit, like I did not think I was ever gonna get to be where I am. But it really does require like a huge identity shift. Like, it's one of those things that people are like, I want 20K months, but it's like, but are you prepared? Like, do you have it in you? Like, are you the person that's prepared to receive that? Because when it comes to 20K months, you have to have a lot of responsibility, especially if you have people that are relying on you to make sure they have a job, to feed their own family. A lot of people don't have that. They would cave under the pressure, and I've had to learn that from like just, I guess, putting myself in really uncomfortable situations where I'm like, this is new to me, I don't know what's happening, but I've just had to adapt. But the identity shift has been truly, truly incredible. Like, at the beginning of my journey, I would have just worked with anyone. If someone wanted to pay me $5, okay, cool. Right. At least someone believes in me. Where now I'm very, like, especially in the last 3 months, I'm like, if you don't want to pay for my prices, that's fine. That's okay. Go ahead. Like, I know what I bring to the table. I know how I can change someone's life with the programs and systems I put. And if someone doesn't see that, that's not up to me to convince them. It's just not. And I think that's one of the biggest identity shifts, being confident in my ability to serve, and if someone doesn't see it, that's their loss, not mine.
Such a beautiful way to put it, because I think that's something we all hear, but seeing how that's actually occurred in your life, and not just this idea of who you need to be in order to receive, but actually done the work and gone from A to B in terms of becoming that version of yourself to receive, is a nice actual visual and example to be like, oh, right, okay. I feel like it almost has to happen simultaneously, though, where you're to be able to grow with it.
Yeah, and I remember when we chatted about when we were doing the Master Your Mindset, there was a portion of it where, like, I was saying about my income goal, but then we were talking about the pressure of having more people on my team and me thinking that that's going to require more work. But then we were like, but no, because if more people do the work, that actually takes me out of doing the work. I just oversee. And that's the biggest thing that I've had to change my mindset on, being like, just because I have, like, now that I have 4 people working for me, it's a lot easier than when I was just by myself.
Yes, yeah, outsource.
Yeah, as much as you can, because otherwise you're only 24/7. Like you only have 24 hours, and your time as like the CEO should only be going to things that need your attention.
Beautiful. I hope you're proud of yourself, because that's, what did we do it 2 years ago? Maybe not even a year ago. Think of
a year and a half, probably. Yeah,
a year and a half of how much you've grown in your mind, and how it's not just in your head. It's like it's relayed and waterfalled into real life, and it's like it just refuels that continuous shift, because it's like, I know we're never done growing. There's always the next level of what identity we can be.
Of course, but it does all start in the mind, though. Like, it really does. Like, we can say all the affirmations we want, but if we don't believe it, it's not. There's no point.
Are everything. My friend yesterday, we had a little nice workout in the morning, and there's a cold plunge at my gym, and she said, do you think it'll make me, cause she was feeling a little stuffy, she's like, do you think it'll be good for me or make me sick? And I said, well, for me, it's good for me. I think that's why I don't get sick.
Yeah.
But your belief systems ultimately control it. Like, if you think you're going to get sick by going in the cold plunge, then you'll probably get sick. But I won't, because I believe that it makes me feel better. So she was kind of like, huh, damn. Like,
100%.
Yeah, totally. Just in every area, it's all your belief systems.
It is. It like, and the more we've been told, like, and the same with, like, you can't travel with kids. But, like, who says that? You say that because you can't travel with kids. But, like, don't put that on me. And I have this conversation with my mom all the time. I'm like, Mom, just because you couldn't do it, and she did obviously an amazing job, but she wasn't able to, like, travel the way, because I was born in 96. Like, you couldn't do that in 1996. It's a completely 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Oh my God.
I know. It's really bizarre. I know. We're still babies yet. It feels like a whole lifetime has occurred. But when I see my parents and they talk about their lives before us, I'm like, you guys had a life? But then it's like, oh yeah, you had a whole life before us. But then also I feel like their life just began when we were born. It's kind of like, whoa, we got so many lives.
Yeah, we do. We do. Like, we have so many chapters, and we don't need to rush into any of them.
What is your number one piece of advice for women craving more freedom but don't know where to begin?
I would sit down with yourself and first ask yourself, what does freedom look like? Because everyone wants freedom, but, like, if I ask, like, one of my clients who's the same came to me, she's like, I just never have time. I need more time for myself, for more freedom. And I asked her, what does freedom mean to you? And she goes, I actually don't know. I guess, like, to wake up and not be stressed. I'm like, that's good. See, we're physically figuring out what freedom is. And then that goes back to, like, okay, what makes you stressed? I have, like, so many clients that I don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, well, let's put a system where you will know what's going on and eliminate that. And then you wake up in the morning and you can have your cup of coffee, because that, to me, freedom is being able to go in the morning and have a coffee with my husband and not start work till 10 a.m. No matter
Yeah.
what's happening, I don't really start work till 10 in the morning. But yeah, I think if you want more freedom, ask yourself what that means first. Figure out what those things are, and then we can kind of go backwards and see how we can create that space.
I saw something the other day and it said, do you drink coffee to wake up or do you drink coffee to slow down? Like how you start your morning. If you're doing it to go, I gotta get moving, I gotta do this. Oh, very good for your nervous system, but basically like high value people drink coffee, they don't take it to go, they sit down, they enjoy it. And that changes the entire trajectory of your life, really, because every day is
100%.
by how you start the day.
Like we have some Italian friends here in Paraguay, and they said, like they're, you know, the way they're coffee lovers. They savor coffee, and they say when someone asks them, "Do you want it to go?" They want to shoot them. They're like, "What do you mean I wanted to go? Like, of course I don't want it to go.
Yeah,
like, coffee's for here."
Yeah.
Because they live in the moment. They like the coffee for them is a way to just relax, take your time. And I think more of us need to learn that it's okay to be present. And honestly, society has made us want to rush. Society has made us to feel like, oh my God, we have to go, 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 go. But like, that's not good for us. We don't start our day the best way if we're starting like that.
Yeah, it's brainwash, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one piece of advice, or the best advice you've ever received?
Oh God, that's a really
there's
good
a lot.
one. Oh God, there's so much. Like I think that the one thing that comes to me is like, do what makes you happy, and it doesn't matter if other people don't get it. Like a lot of people, like a lot of my family, especially like in Ireland, they probably look at my life being like, oh, she's traveling again, like she's not she's not thinking of her future. And in my head I'm like, yeah, but like I might not be alive like in my future. So like what's the point of being like, oh, I need to sit down and grind for 30 years and then retire and then enjoy my life? But what if I don't even make it to that? So like that quote and that advice is like, do what makes you happy even when other people don't understand it, because who cares? Like they're not you living your life.
Yeah, I think about that every single day, and I think that every day, like I'll look at old family photos and it's like the absolute best lesson, the most heartbreaking, obviously grief and who I've lost, but losing basically a sister at 23 taught me the greatest lesson, where it's not just this idea that you might not have later. It could very much be a reality, and that is made me be like, oh, this is real. I gotta live for today, because I might not have 5 years from now. And it sometimes sounds a bit dramatic, but it's like, I'm so lucky. My mom's like, I'm so sorry you had to experience that at such a young age. And it's like, yeah, I've healed from it now, where and from the beginning I always asked, what am I meant to learn? It was like, thank you for being taught this at 23 and not 50, that I need to live for today now. And it's so great. I'm so happy that you feel that to your core too. And it's like, that's why I talk about my experiences so much, because I'm like, I don't want everyone to have to experience that for then the switch to flip. I want you to know now that could happen, and go live life and like be free, still plan for the future, but also it's like, relax a little bit.
You live now, 100%. And you've inspired me so much. And I've told you this before, like before I was like really this free spirit and really living the life I want to do. I was living for others. I was living based on someone else's expectation. And then I like, it was definitely, you were a big part of like seeing how you just didn't care. Like you just went for it. You just went for it. And like, I remember you said maybe it was in one of your posts, but it's like, when we think about death, it's like some people could be like, okay, it's really morbid, or it can be a wake-up call that we only have one fucking life. And if we don't use it, we're gonna end up waking up at 85 years old being like, what did I waste my life on? It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to wake up at 85 being like, I wish I did more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now you can
You
be like,
know?
okay, I'm tired, but I did it all.
Yeah, I did. I went for my acting dreams and I did it. Now did I continue it? No, but at least I did it. I don't have to sit and wonder what would have happened if I
Exactly.
never tried.
Yeah, no, you're doing it. You're walking the walk, and thank you for sharing it. What is there, just last question, is there a mantra or a quote that you say to yourself every day or something that you live by?
Lately, no, but for a long time I had it in my journal, and what was the exact same thing? It was something. I'm just trying to think exactly what it
Mm-hmm.
was. It was something along the like, I am exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we feel like we should be ahead. Like I'm 29 years old. I feel like I should have a house. I should have a property, but I don't. I don't because all my money goes on flights. Is it responsible? No. But I'm exactly where I need to be.
I'm just laughing because I've experienced the exact same thing where I think that's just what we've been taught, but because they never showed you the other path where if you got hit 30, 40, 50 countries, what kind of benefit does that also bring you? We're not taught that because it's, I think, for a few
Yeah.
percentage of the population that has the courage for that. But which is why I wanted to have this chat with you today to share with everyone who's listening and how possible this is if you have a little bit of courage, a lot of strategy, and then just go for it.
It's honestly, it's just not having the fear, and it's easier said than done. I know everyone's like, "Oh, it's so easy to say." Yeah, but just know that everything's going to be okay. And it's like money was always going to come back. That's a huge thing for me. It's like as long as I'm healthy and happy, money's always going to come back. Like I don't let money be the reason it stops us doing. Like even with our honeymoon, when we were going for coffee one day, we were thinking, I'm like, we need to decide where to go on our honeymoon. We've been married for 2 years. Yes, I'm sorry, we've been traveling, so like technically it's been like I shouldn't be complaining, and I'm not. But before we left for coffee, Jared was like, you know what? Why don't we just like look at cruises? I'm like, well, that's a good idea. We go for coffee, and I was like, actually, let me bring my laptop so we can do some research.
Amazing.
We like ended up leaving that coffee shop with a cruise booked for a month later.
Acting fast, I feel like, is what your guys' strength is too. Not overthinking it, just being like, yeah, done. That's how it all happens.
We're lucky because we have the financial means to do it. I know not everyone does, and I don't want to sound like tone deaf, but money can always come back. You can work really hard and have that. And we're at a place like that because we grinded for 3 years. We put our life on hold for 3 years.
I was gonna say, it's not like you're coming from a trust fund. You've built all of this. You've both built all of this from the bottom and from the beginning. So it's like, if anything, it's just more that you can do it too if you put that time in. So I think you can. It's not that you're being unrealistic. It's like you've just done the work already. So you're at a different phase.
100%. No, both Jared and I were in debt when we met, and we just worked like genuinely. At one stage, I had 2 restaurant jobs and acting. So I was working. Yeah, we were both working 70-hour weeks. How many people are going to work 70-hour weeks?
Yeah.
Like not a lot, because they're like, oh, that's too much. But it's like if you want like a really kind of the next level, you got to sacrifice a bit. Not everyone would have worked like how we did and missed out on so many nights out and all of that. But like now I'm looking back, I'm like, thank God I sacrificed that, because now I have this.
Yeah. Well, worth it. No, it's great to hear it from a young person too, and not like 50 years later when you're 70. It's like, no, this is real and you can do it now.
Yeah. No, I hope like even if it inspires one person, like I'm such a huge believer, just live your best life and just don't listen to anyone that says you can't, because they're not in your shoes, and if they say that you can't, it's because they can't, not that you can't.
Yeah.
They're projecting their thoughts and beliefs on you.
Yeah. My friend and I said that yesterday too, where I'm sure you've experienced this too, and I have, and she has, where people are like, slow down, relax a little bit. You know, I wouldn't say it out loud, but in my head I'd be like, speak for yourself. I'm good. I want a certain lifestyle. I'm happy to do this. Like I'm loving it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's tiring, but I like that. I want that from life.
And it's like you want an extraordinary life. Just because other people don't, that doesn't mean like they should tell you. Oh, and another thing, actually, last thing is why I love this quote as well. It's like, don't take advice from someone that has a life that you don't want. Why would you? They don't live the life you want, so why would you take advice from them?
Yeah, I live by that one too. I listen to everyone, and then I, without judgment, just think, would I switch places? And if not, then it's like, okay, I'll take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and also trusting my intuition, but still learning from mentors and guiders and whatever it might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Olga. I really appreciate you sharing your time, energy, space, everything, knowledge. And if you have any questions for Olga, I will share her information in the descriptions below. We've done another podcast before. I've gotten more into specifics about her role with Next Day Executive. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. Absolutely. It's always really good to chat with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.